today's topic is about billing master data. So we discussed last time about the business master data, technical master data, and we discussed about uh, the MRU portions and parameter records. Now in the installation, when we create, we also provide one data that is called rate category. Now when we give the rate category, that means we almost created the billing master data, right? So the billing master data, you can say it is the real essence which holds the logic of a calculation, right? Now, if we understand the contract billing is mostly based on the all these divisions which we already pass at the creation of the installation, and that link to our the business master data. Now, when we create the consumption amount or flat rates or any billing rules, okay, so that rules and all these details we pass at the rate category. Okay, so basically the rate category consists of three major stuff. One is schema, one is billing class, and outsort group, right? So all this stuff is comes under billing master data. So if we definitely understand the definition of billing master data, it is mentioned as contract billing allows you to bill commercial and industrial customers and residential customers as well. It also supports annual consumption billing and mid-year billing cycles. So it supports following areas: billing master data, special functions, and billing execution. So those three things are part of billing. Now, if we go to the structure of the billing master data, as I mentioned, at the installation level, we are allocating the rate category. Now that rate category actually made of two major stuff. One is billing schema. Okay, you can see here. And this billing schema is holds the rates. So there are different rates which are holds under the billing schema. Okay, so you can see here rate 1, rate 2, up to rate n. Different rates are in a billing schema. Now these rates actually need a rate type to complete itself by a process called rate determination. So in the rate determination process, we can understand this rate is active or not active for the billing schema. Okay, so under the billing schema, whatever the rates are there, they are made up of rate steps. So you can say under rate there are rate steps. So these rate steps holds majorly the variants and the operands. Okay, so the variants are small ABAP programs which behaves like the operators. Okay, and the operands, you know, these are kind of variables. If you did any kind of programming, so in the programming language, we declare the operands which behaves like the variables which holds the values. So you can see here the rate determination linked to the rate variant programs which indirectly link to the operand values, right? So this is the structure. We'll do the practical for this structure. Okay. Now going forward, let's discuss each of these billing master data elements or components. So if we understand what are the components in a billing master data, we can understand we have a billing class, we have a rate type, price, operand, variant programs, rate, schema, rate category, and facts. So you can see all this stuff is here in this data model for billing. Okay, so we have a rate category at the beginning. Rate category is linked to the installation, so rate category is there. Now this rate category linked to the rate type. The rate type is also linked to the installation structure. Now when we created the device and installed at the site, we are passing a rate type there, right? So rate type is there. So rate category and rate type. This determines the rates. Now, rate category, you can understand it holds the schema holds the rates holds the variant programs linked to the operand, and the price is held at the facts level, or independently we can apply the prices at the full installation level where we are applying the rate type. Now, all this stuff is integrated through a logical stuff called billing class. Okay. So what is billing class then? So actually SAP ISU billing class is used to classify the installation for billing in same divisions. So we understand we have a division like EL, the electricity division, and that electricity division is divided into, let's consider uh, residential, commercial, and industrial. So for each type of consumers, we can create a class, billing class, right? So the billing class is basically we are dividing the same divisions customers into different uh, groups or classifications we did through the classes, billing classes. So, but the real use of billing class is we are integrating the all this stuff through the billing class. Like when we create a rate category, we need a billing class. When we create a rate type, we need a billing class. When we create a price, we need a billing class. Whether we go for discount, rate creation, or schema creation, everywhere we need to apply a billing class. So practically, they are integrating all these master data, billing master data. Okay, even if last time when we created the MRU and portion, we have to pass the billing classes there as well. Okay, and finally, as I mentioned, we created an installation by giving a division, and inside the installation, we need to pass a billing class because again, billing class will classify the different group of consumers. Okay, so that is your billing class. Very useful, but what we call very simple. So the use of billing class here, I mentioned that the billing class is used for following purposes: validation. This, for example, prevent a rate category for a non-residential customer from being allocated to an installation for a residential customer. So as it classified, it differentiates between the rate category. So it is used kind of a validation. Then statistical uh, certainty, like the billing class can be analyzed with sales statistics. Okay, so under which class, how many consumers are there, that we can also know. Okay, so if we put into a design format, so you can see, as I mentioned, rate type and rate determination, two major stuff integrated with each other. Now rate type, and when we do a rate determination, before that we need to create the rate category. Okay, rate category. To create a rate category, we need to create a billing schema. Now to create a billing schema, we need to create the rates. To create the rates, we need to create the rate steps, and to create rate steps, we need the operands and variants. And finally, when we integrate the prices, we are getting the output for any logical calculation. Okay, so here it arises, what is rate type then? What exactly is rate type? Okay, so rate type actually we can say um, it's classify the device units, the device register device uh, or flat rate, which kind of rate we are using to calculation that it defined or classify. Okay, example, uh, we have the electrical wave which has on peak and off peak. And mostly we have three kind of energy. If we create a triangle for the energy, which is having active energy, reactive energy. Okay, so in that case, we need to apply one kind of rate type which is defined either on peak or off peak. Okay, so that is actually linked to the device. When it linked to the device, that device is activated for a logic which is defined at our schema level. So it is actually the integration point between the device side and the billing side. Okay, so the rate type is integrating the device and the billing both the sides. Okay, so we defined it as the register level or at the device level. Okay, if it is not a register or device like non-meter side, then we can define at the fact level like a flat rate, or if it is a street lighting, we can apply a reference values. Okay, so we do the practical, we can see how we are defining all this stuff. Okay, the rate category is used to conjunction with the rate type to determine the rates. Determine the rates means to activate the rates. Okay, so where exactly we are using? So we have actually 6 type of, we can say, rate. Now these 6 type of rates equating 6 type of rate type. Okay, so those rate types are register rate type. Now when we are getting the data directly from the register, okay, so we define that a register rate type. But if there is a rental billing, okay, rental billing means we are not charging for the consumption, we are just charging for the devices. In that case, what we do, we apply the device rental class, okay, to determine the rate. Okay, so in that case, we define it, say, at the device permissible rate, and it is defined as the device rate type. Similarly, at the fact level, if we define fact, actually we are defining at the installation level or at the uh, rate category level or at the rate level. So if we define the facts, so we define the rate type as a fact permissible rate. Okay, and then interval meters, which are actually real-time meters, RTP meters. There we define at the interface level the rate type. Then period end billing, which is mostly used for specific utilities where they define the billing should be done after the period. So this is one kind of a rate, and we permissible as period end billing and waste billing, which is used for the waste management. Okay, so you can see mostly the rate type is linked to the register device rate category and utility installations. Okay, any questions till now?
No.
Okay, then we have price. Prices are actually we can see we have unit of consumption, then we need to apply some amount on top of that. So we multiply that, then we'll get the output. So exactly the price are allocated to one operand, which that operand will calculate at the rate level, and that rate step define the output. Now when we define a price, we define a name for that price, we call that price key. And inside the price key, we define the values of that price. Okay, so then inside the price, we need to define the different type of prices. So we'll discuss that in detail. Like if we go to the price category, we have 4 categories of price, starting with quantity based price. That means if the quantity increases, okay, so it will multiply with that price, and based on the quantity, let it be for 1 unit of quantity it is €5, then when you multiply 10 quantity it will be 50. So that is quantity based. Number of unit multiply the price. Okay, flat rate. Flat rate is kind of a fixed amount of unit of time. Flat rate is mostly applied for the rental sites. Let it be for a month you are charging a particular device or a particular area some amount. Let it be €200. So once the month is end, with the time it will apply a €200. So it is directly flat for a month. Then clearing price. So clearing price is again based on the time and certain period for that. Let it be a utility company provided a device to a site for a particular period, and for within that period we need to clear that price. Okay, so clearing the price within that certain period, and obviously time-based price based on the time. Let it be for every day the price going to increase. So time-based price means if it is 25 days, the amount would be different. If it is 30 days, the amount of different. 45 days, the amount is different, right? Now, in case of a flat rate price and a time-based price, it is basic. There is a different. As I mentioned, flat rate is constant for a period, and whereas time-based price is increasing with time. So in case of a flat rate, let it be pass a flat rate for a month is 20 euro, and for time-based price, it is also 20 euro. So if in case of flat rate, we do bill after a month and there are 2-3 days is ahead, even if that value is constant, okay, 20 euro. But in case of time-based price, it will increase to 21 euro if you do bill after 2 days, right? So that is the time base. Now, this is the category of the price, but what are the types of price? The types of price again is of 3 types: standard price, block price, scale price. Now, what is standard price? So standard price is very simple, as I mentioned, based on the units, the number of amount means the number of quantity of the units multiplied the amount, you will give a total amount. So that is your standard price. So if you consume 10 units, per unit is 10 euro, multiply with 10, it will give you 100 euro. Okay, so that is very straightforward. Whereas the real understanding comes under block price and scale price. Okay, so what is a block price? You observe in Bhubaneswar, there are electric bills which are defined in a different manner. Like first 100 units, 0 to 100, it would be, let it be 2 rupees. Then 101 to 200, it would be 4 rupees. Then 201 to 300, it would be 5 rupees, like that. So that is a block price, and more than 400, it would be 8 rupees, like that. So you can see here, there are this graph of block price. We have different prices: P5, P4, P3, P2, P1, and all the stuff. Now it is based on the quantity. When your quantity is less, the price may be a different price. If it is more, so for first unit, there would be a different price. For other, there would be a different price, like that. So that is called block price. Any doubt in block price? No. Okay. So let's go for the quantity based billing, where we apply the scale price. Now, scale price is very different thing. It is used very commonly everywhere in markets, but in utilities also there is an option. But mostly in utility, we use block price. So what is scale price? When you use more quantity, your price would be different. Okay. Now, what is that? Let it be you use 200 units in a month. So your price is 2 rupees. Okay. But when you use 300 units or more than 200 units, your price will be less, and it would be 1 rupees. Okay, based on your scale, the price going to decrease or increase. Okay, so that is called scale price. Okay, so that doesn't mean that your first 200 units would be on different price, and then the other 100 would be in a different price. Okay, everything would be the same price, but based on your scale, the prices will get changed. But in case of a block price, your first 100 would be in a different price, 100. Second 100 would be a different price. Okay, so every block has different prices. In scale price, based on your consumption, the price will be changed. Okay, high consumption, different prices, low consumption, different prices like that. Are you getting what is the difference between block price and scale price?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So when we create a price, these are the header data. Okay, we'll go into practicals, then we'll go for the pricing and other stuff. Okay, let's go for the practical to create the rate data or billing master data, and we'll create that from the operands. Okay, so when we create the operands, actually, as I mentioned, these are the variables. Okay, we'll go with a simple logic. The logic is very simple. We'll multiply a quantity with a price and it will give us an amount. That would be our logic. And for that, we do the practical. And for that, we need three operands. One operand would be a quantity based operand. One would be price operand. One would be the amount operand. Okay. Now, when we go to create the operand, it will give you different types of operand. So in our SAP ISU, you have 20 types of operands. Okay, so you can see there are 20 types of operand. Now, each of these operand has a different meaning. So as per our logic, which we are going to implement as practical, where we need a quantity, a price, which will give us an amount. Okay, so in that case, we need to choose a quantity. So you can see a quantity based operand is there. Q price is price operand. Okay, you can see QUANT. Quant is general consumption, so that is a quantity. Quantity need to multiply with a price. So price means Q price, quantity based price. Okay, so you can see the Q price is just top of quant. So quantity multiplied with Q price, then we create an operand which would be amount in nature. So you can see third one, the amount. So we need to create those three for our experiment or practical. But based on the uses, which type of uses we are using for the operand, based on that we have 4 uses of the operand. So based on the uses, the operand second of 4 types. First is normal uses. Normal uses means for the calculation. Okay, so that is normal uses operand. Then register operand. Register operand means this operand get the data from the meters, from the registers, okay, from the devices. So that is a register operand. Then complete history operand. When we do calculation, we need to store the data after the calculation in any of the facts. In that case, we need a operand, and because of that uses, it is called complete history operand. Now, finally, when we are using the real-time pricing billing, where the profiles are used for the calculation, in that case, we use the RTP operand. So these are the 4 type of operand based on the uses. But as I mentioned, we have types are of 20 types of operand we can create. But based on the uses, these are of 4 types. Okay. So let's go for the practicals and let's do the practicals for next 30 minutes. Remote extract. Hello, are you able to see the screen of SAP?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So whenever we develop a schema, first we define a logic actually. Okay. So today I'm not defining any complex logic. I'm just defining a simple logic. Okay. So the logic is we need to multiply a quantity with a price. It will give a amount, right? Before that, let me show you the exact structure in the system. So which 76, 78, anyway. Okay, so you can see this is the installation we created, and the installation we have rate category. Okay, if we click on the rate category, you can see the schema is there. This is the schema. Okay, so as I mentioned, inside the rate category, we have a schema, we have billing class, we have outside group. These are the minimum requirement to create a billing schema. To create a rate category. Now we have a schema, and schema holds the rate steps. Inside the schema, we have rate. So here there is a single rate, so you can see it is very simple. So the rate is there. So as I mentioned, the rate is of 6 types. You can see here register permissible, interval meter, which is your RTP meter, device permissible, fact permissible, waste billing permissible, and PE means period end billing. Okay, so these are the 6 type of rate. Now at the rate, when we create, we have to pass a register operand if it is a register permissible. If it is a fact permissible, we need to just click and it will allow to check at the fact level what exactly value is passing at the fact level. Okay, so this is the rate header. Inside the rate, we have rate steps. In the rate steps, you can see we have variant. This is a variant, quantity 01, and we have 3 operands. One operand is called input operand. Okay, 2 operands are input operand. One is quantity operand, one is price operand, one is amount operand. Right now, so this is the whole structure. Now this values are determined, or this rate is determined through rate type. Now where we apply the rate type, we are applying the rate type here. The rate type is applied at the full installation level, at the device level. Now this rate type and the rate category links together to determine the rate for a period. Okay, so that whole experiment or practical, let's do that. Now to create a operand, we need to use anyway, you can go through the SAP ISU Access, or you can go through the T codes. Okay, so the T code for creation of a operand is EA50. Okay, now which type of operand we need to create for a register operand, register rate? We need to create a register operand. Okay, so let's give the name Pritham and Abhishek. So I put PA, and as it's a register operand, I am putting REG. Okay, so that is the operand name. You can put anything in that, but put something logical. Then operand category. So as I mentioned, we have 20 type of operand categories. Okay, so which category we need to pick? We need to pick Q quantity. Okay, and for which division we are creating? We are creating a single division called EL, right? Electricity division. Now just create that. So inside, now you can see we have the operand name PAREG. We have operand category quantity. We have the type of operand based on the usage is register operand. If you want to tick mark this one for the BW relevant, BW relevant is business warehouse relevant. So you need to allocate that. Then apply the text of the operand. You can mention that it's a quantity operand. So for anybody, let it be PAREG. Okay. Now, what is the unit of mass here? Now, unit is very important here. So we need to apply the unit here as kWh. Okay, so based on the different utilities, you need to apply the unit. If it is a gas, meter cube. If it is any other stuff, like any other kind of utility, water, meter cube again, or joules per based on the energies, gas. Okay, so different has different units. Here we are applying kWh. Okay, so kWh is for electricity. We are applying that as our unit of measurement. Now weighting key is either linear, okay, or based on the energy feeding, whatever the data you have. So for the simple understanding, now we are passing as linear, so 0, 1. Apart from that, you can create a groups, operand groups. Mostly it is a logical group when there are a lot of operands and you need to put into a group. In that case, you can use the operand groups. It has a different use as well. So like if you need to apply a range of values for a particular operand, in that case also you are using operand groups. Then you have consumption type. It is not mandatory. So if you want, you can apply that. Okay, so there is no selection. Then you have rounding category. So either round up, round down, round the nearest whole number, and do not round. All those stuff is there. So these are the rounding stuff. And then you have operand access based on the operand value or key date. You can apply those stuff. So here we can applying the all operand values. So that means whatever the value we pass, it will activate immediately. And if you want to store the operand, you can apply the history, specific details, and then save. So now your operand is created, PAREG. So similarly, as our logic, we need to create two more operand. One more operand we need to create as normal operand. So REG, as I mentioned, to display the operand, we can go with the display option. As I mentioned, it is a quantity operand register base. So next operand we need to create for the prices. So we need to create a price operand, which should be in a normal uses. Okay, so I just put as price. Okay, and instead of quantity, what we need to apply? We need to apply the Q price. It is based on the quantity price. Okay, so select the type as normal uses, execute. If you want to tick mark billing BW relevant, you can apply. So you can apply the price operand for PA price. Then unit of a price KWH. Okay, weight key, again it's linear. As I mentioned, it is the simplest one, and save. Okay, so your price operand also created. Now we have two operands, we need to multiply them and we need the output. So what is the output? That is amount. So let's go with the amount operand. Yeah. So amount operand, just create and apply. Okay, so again, linear key. So it is the output, it is holding the total amount. Okay, so now we created all three operands. So what is the next step? After creation of the operand, we need to identify the variant. Okay, in general, we first identify the variant, then we go for the operand. Okay, so to identify the variant, there is a T code called EA99. Just pass EA99 and you will get this screen. Okay, here you need to understand which variant would be useful. Like if I'll pass and execute, so you can see there are a lot of variants. Each variant has two segments, input and output, and you can see there are small descriptions are there. If you need to understand there more details, you can have the informations there. You can see the information what exactly the variant for. You can see the input operands, the output operands, all those stuff is there. So that means it is very simple for a user. So SAP provided all the details to pick any of the variant. If you know the logic, you need to apply those stuff here. So in our case, what are the input categories we are passing? So the input categories we are passing as quantity, right? So we are passing a quantity and we are passing a Q price. Okay, you can see there is a Q price and we are expecting output as amount. And so execute that. So you can see there are a lot of variants which are related to that. Okay, so the first one you can see evaluate quantity with price. That means you multiply quantity with price quant and Q price are the two input operand types and output is amount. So that is the best one. Others are of three inputs. This is also of two inputs. Evaluate quantity with price as XCB. Okay, so only these options are there. Now let's check what is this quant 51. So for that we need many parameters. This previous segment that we can also pass the types of operand. Here we pass the quantity and Q price, and the output we are expecting as amount. Right. So when we execute this, you can see we have multiple variant options. And out of that, only two options you can see two inputs. First one is quant Q price, which is giving the amount as the output, and the quantity 51, quantity Q price and amount. So if you click on the quantity 51, you can see there are a lot of parameters there. Okay, so that we are not using right now. So we are going with the simplest one, quanti 01. So quanti 01 has two type of operands as input quant and Q price, output is amount. So this is our variant, right? So we know the variant would be quanti 01. Now how to create the rate? So the creation of rate, we can go with EA30 as the T code. Display. Okay. So now you can see this is the creation of the rate screen. Here we need to give the name of the rate. Okay, so let's give the rate name as PA rate. So this is the rate header screen where we need to explain the total detail of the rate. So let it be PA rate for the testing. You need to pass the division here, EL billing class 0001. You can use your own billing class. I need to explain how to create the billing class. Okay, so you currently we are using the same billing class. Now, here we have a register permissible. So if we are applying a register permissible, we need to apply a operand which is have register operand. Okay, so what is our operand for register? PAREG. Okay, so PAREG is the register operand which is our initiation of for this rate. Then we have validation class. Here we can apply the domestic validation class. Then we have minimum share. It is for the extrapolation. It is in between any number between the 0 to 9999. Let me put 100. Okay. So next, go to the, if you want to see all the stuff, press enter. You can see all the details are coming. Go to the rate steps. So when you are entered to the rate step, you can get this blank screen. Here you need to pass the variant. So which variant we need to use? Quantity 01 is the variant. Just pass that, press enter. So you can see this, the rate step is now allow you to enter the operands and the values. So what is our input operand? Our input operand is PA register, which is our initiation point. From as it is a register operand, it will get the data from the meter. Then we need to multiply with a price. Okay, so this is your price. Then we need to get the output into a amount operand. So this is your amount operand. So register operand, price operand, and amount operand. Okay, all three operands is in use. But the rest step is not just that. We need to apply, okay, whether this variant, okay, it will info line written on the quantity or not. Let's it's a single process. If you tick markets, the info line will be written about the quantity. If you don't tick market, it will not write on the quantity. So currently I am going without writing on the quantity, so it is false in nature. So variant control is the control for the quantity. Like one variant has multiple types of operations. So those operations controlled through the variant control. Okay. Then period control. Period control is which kind of period. It would be a time-based process. So whether it would be a day or a month. So which kind of period you are considering during your calculation. So here I am passing a 00, right? So these variant control and period control is done. Then when you do a calculation, you need to post that to a ledger. Now ledger is kind of a book where we entry the line items. Now those ledgers defined through the define two types, debit ledger and credit ledger, and those ledgers are defined or identified through the main and sub transactions. So the main transaction is debit sub transaction, which you can see here. I'm giving this debit sub transaction as M0001. Similarly, we created a credit sub transaction, which is M102. Similarly, budget billing debit sub transaction, which is M501, and budget billing credit sub transaction, which is M0001. Okay, now all done, save this. So your rate is created. Rate name is PA rate. After creation of the rate, we need to allocate this rate to a schema. Okay. So we need to go to the schema header. Okay, schema header is EA35. Okay, now you can see it's giving you the option to create a billing schema. We need to give a schema name here, PA schema. Okay, so give the description of the schema. Okay, now once your header is done, just press enter, then go to the rate steps. Here you need not to apply anything, you just need to insert. So you can see here there is an option of insert. In the insert, it is asking about which rate we need to insert. I'm just giving PA rate because we have created the PA rate, and then try to execute to search that rate. So I find that rate here, and when I click on that, that rate is inserted inside the schema. So in real-time world, there will be a lot of rates, okay, 50, 60 rates, or in case of 10, 15 rates. Based on the requirement of the logic, we need to create the rates, and all the rates are inserted into the schema. Okay, so the schema actually defined which rate need to be executed first, which need to be executed afterwards. So that whole structure is defined inside the schema. Okay, so inside the schema, our all the stuff is defined here. We need to define two more things: pre-sorting of the key. So pre-setting defines the which line items need to be first picked, which would be picked afterwards. So those priority are giving at the pre-sorting. Okay, now you can see here the at the end, you can see the uh, here you can this line items name. Okay, here it is quantity 01. That means it's a consumption based line item. Okay, now save it. So your schema is get created. Now once your schema is created, we need to create the rate category. So before creation of the rate category, I will explain you how to create the rate type billing class, because billing class actually initially we need to create that, but now I'll show you. We already used the existing billing class, and then we'll proceed for the creation of the rate category. So EA53 is to create the rate category. If I give a rate category like PA hyphen rate category, let me put as rate cat. Okay, so definition is EL. So you can see here it is asking a outsort group, a schema, and class. Okay, class we already used previously. Outsort group is all, we can use also the existing outsort group, and schema. Our schema is PA schema. Okay, and you can give the description of the rate category. Okay, just save. Okay, so your rate category is now created. Okay, so once your rate category is created, then we need to do a rate determination. Okay, so how to do a rate determination? You need to go to a T code called EA87. So here you need to pass the rate category and rate type. Now we don't have a rate type. We need to create a rate type. So let me first show you how to create the rate type. For the configuration label, just move inside the SPRO. Here we need to go to the utilities. Inside the utilities, we need to go to the contract billing. Inside the contract billing, we need to go to the billing master data. Inside billing master data, we have rate structure. Inside rate structure, you can see we can create different steps like, sorry. Okay, you can see here rate type is there. Okay, at the top you can see billing class is there. Just for understanding, I'm just creating one billing class which is very simple in nature. Just go to the billing class segment, go to the new entry, pass a billing class, let it be PAC. PA billing class is the structure, so billing class for PA billing class. So when you create it, it will ask to create a what we call this transaction ID. So now this transport request you can define based on your understanding, okay, and execute it. So this transport request holds the billing class right now. So your billing class is created. So if you want to use that billing class, you can use now. Okay, similarly, when we are creating the rate type, just execute this and go to a new entry. Now you need to give a rate type here. So let's apply the rate type as PA rate TY, PA rate type. So in PA rate type, you can define that rate type. Okay, PA rate type. Okay, so you need to define the division there. EL is our division, electricity division, then billing class. So in our schema and other stuff, in every area we are using a billing class as 0001. We need to use the same billing class, then only we can use the rate type for the rate determination. And as we are using the register rate and we apply the register operand to initiate the rate, so we apply the rate type as register rate type. Okay, now save this. As I mentioned, we have all the 6 type of segments here, a register rate type, and you can say device permissible, fact permissible, all this stuff you can do on your own. Okay, so your rate type is created. Let's go to do the rate determination. Okay, so in the rate determination screen, we need to pass the rate type. A. So I created this one, right? PA rate type is not here. Let's come. Just a minute. Just created the rate type. Why it is not showing here? R P A rate type. Yes, P A R A T Y. Okay, P A R A T Y. This one we created. So now press enter and you need to go to the rate determination, create the rate determination. Here you can see the rate category, rate types are there. Just again, insert the rate. Now you need to define from which date the rate is activated. Let me put today's date. Today is 23rd of October. And insert the rate. Okay, execute and save. Now your rate determination is done. Now you can go to the installations and use your rate category. Okay. Okay, somebody's created something, I don't know. You can create your own rate category or own master data where you can apply your rate category. So our each PA, let's see which rate category we created. Okay, so they created on their own class. So if you want to apply your rate category, you need to first apply the class. So we created under 0001 and then you can go with the rate category which you created, which is PA rate cat. Okay, then apply. So last time, this class is not matching because it is showing that we are using something different. So anyway, you can create your own master data for the timing. I'm just allocating this for a different installation. You can create the whole new installation and apply that. Here you can apply the PA rate. So save now. So it is now saved. You can see the rate category is created right now. Okay, rate category is created. MRU is also done. Okay. So we created the whole master data.